Welcome viewers to part 2 of our Death Valley series. In this episode, we'll take you on a journey where we'll explore a historic landmark and hike among distinct and stunning landscapes. We witness remarkable sunsets from high above, make a new friend, and cook up some delicious meals. Our adventure starts at our boondocking location just east of the park. Then we head into Pahrump, Nevada for some supplies, stopping at Death Valley Junction on our way back, and then into the park proper, exploring the features along Badwater Road and eventually Dantes View. Get ready to immerse yourself in the beauty and adventure of Death Valley and discover what makes this iconic national park so special. We'll start with an overview of our boondocking location, which is just a few miles east of the park entrance. This place is known as the Pads. This area proved an ideal location to explore the east side of the park from. The concrete pads make for a luxurious boondocking experience, and the surrounding views were just gorgeous. Death Valley is a land of extremes and contrasts. Located mostly in California, this desert valley is the lowest and driest place in North America, with temperatures that can soar above 130 degrees Fahrenheit. Despite its name, Death Valley is a thriving ecosystem with diverse plant and animal life that have adapted to the harsh environment over millions of years. The valley is surrounded by mountains that form a natural barrier, creating a unique climate that has shaped the landscape over time. The valley floor is dotted with salt flats, sand dunes, and rocky canyons, all carved by water and erosion. It's a place of stunning natural beauty and geological wonders, where you can see the power of nature at work. For centuries, indigenous people have lived in the region, and in the 1800s, prospectors came seeking gold and other valuable minerals. Today, visitors come from all over the world to experience the rugged beauty of Death Valley, explore its history, and enjoy its recreational opportunities, such as hiking, camping, and stargazing. In today's video, we're going to explore the east side of the park, along Badwater Road and Dantes View. In the next episode, we'll head west and see what that side has to offer. As we're camping outside of the park, we were able to fly the drone here. That was failing on the trailer, and there are no hardware stores in Death Valley, so in the morning we headed off to Pahrump, Nevada. Pahrump is a growing community with a thriving economy thanks to its proximity to Las Vegas and California. It's a great place to stock up on supplies and enjoy some of the local attractions. Fortunately for us, there was a food truck in the Tractor Supply parking lot which was serving up some delicious tacos. We grabbed our hinges and food and headed back. The drive to and from Pahrump was scenic, and we had some interesting sights along the way, such as this house that appeared to be built on or into a big rock. On the way back, we decided to briefly stop at Meadows Wildlife Refuge. The refuge covers over 24,000 acres and is home to a wide variety of plant and animal species, including several that are found nowhere else on the earth. Given our full schedule, we took note and will visit again in the future when we can dedicate the time required. Next, we stopped at Death Valley Junction. The Amargosa Hotel and Opera House is a historic landmark built in the 1920s by the Pacific Coast Borax Company. The hotel served as housing for the company's workers and their families. Today, the Hotel and Opera House is a unique destination that offers a glimpse into the area's rich history and cultural heritage. The Opera House, which was built in the 1930s, is the crown jewel of the Amargosa Hotel. This intimate venue has hosted some of the most famous performers of the 20th century, including Martha Beckett, who famously revived the venue in the 1960s and performed there for over 40 years. These days, visitors can enjoy guided tours of the hotel and opera house, which include a visit to the theater and a behind-the-scenes look at its rich history. It's a great way to immerse yourself in the cultural heritage of Death Valley Junction and experience the magic of the Amargosa Hotel and Opera House. The hotel's interior has been lovingly restored to its original Art Deco style, complete with vintage furnishings and decor that transport you back to the glamour of the 1920s. On top of all that, the hotel is still operating and you can book a room here. We'll link to it in the description. Now let's head back to the park proper and see what's going on there. This large sign greets you as you enter the east side of the park. Zabriskie Point is an iconic viewpoint that offers stunning panoramic views of Death Valley's Badlands. The vibrant colors and landscape make it a popular spot for photography and filming. As we have visited here many times before, and more importantly, the best time to see this is early in the morning, we decided not to stop this time. Here we are passing by the Inn at Death Valley, a luxurious oasis in the heart of the park. This historic hotel offers modern amenities, fine dining, and breathtaking views of the surrounding desert landscape. We decided to grab a map from the visitor center since there is virtually no cell service in most of the park. They were confirming paid entry as they handed out the pamphlets and maps. The weather was just about perfect by our standards. Many of the park's attractions are accessed from Badwater Road, so that's where we went. During your visit to Death Valley, there are several must-see destinations that you won't want to miss. One of these is Devil's Golf Course, a unique and otherworldly landscape that's covered in jagged salt formations. The salt crystals are so sharp and dense that it's said no plant or animal can survive in this terrain, hence the name Devil's Golf Course. Despite its harsh environment, this location is popular for photography and taking in the surreal scenery. Another must-visit destination is Natural Bridge, a beautiful natural arch that was formed by millions of years of erosion. The bridge spans over a small canyon and is a popular spot for hikers, as there are several trails that lead into the area. The contrast of the red rock against the blue sky is truly stunning, and you may even spot some wildlife along the way. The canyon has the side benefit of providing some shade during the hotter periods in the valley. This was not really a factor during our visit, however. This hike is an easy 1-mile round trip, though you can hike further up the canyon than the bridge if you like. And the canyon seems to get narrower the further up you go. The bridge rises about 35 feet above the canyon floor and is about the same thickness. Let's move along to our next destination. No trip to Death Valley would be complete without a visit to Badwater Basin, the lowest point in North America. Here you will find a vast expanse of salt flats that stretch as far as the eye can see, creating an otherworldly and surreal landscape. Despite its harsh environment, the basin is home to several species of wildlife that have adapted to the salty conditions. It's also a popular spot for stargazing, as there is little light pollution in the area. Finally, we are going to head up to Dantes View, a panoramic viewpoint located high above Death Valley and a great place to watch the sunset. The road to access Dantes View is just a few miles west of our campsite at the pads, making that especially convenient. The road is windy and there is a warning not to tow trailers or large vehicles up here. There is a place to drop trailers about halfway up. The summit, at about 5,400 feet in altitude, is considerably cooler than the valley below it, which at places is below sea level. This afternoon, the elevation worked against us, as the outside temperature was in the 40s. We have seen some truly stunning sunsets from up here in prior visits, and while this sunset did not compare to those, it was still very pretty. This view is named after Dante Alighieri, the Italian poet who wrote the Divine Comedy. It is said that the viewpoint was named in honor of Dante because of the panoramic views from the viewpoint resemble the breathtaking vistas that the poet describes in his literary masterpiece. It's cool to think just hours ago we were down there below sea level, and now we're up here looking down. Yeah, this is not the road you want to bring your trailer up. There was some kind of industry going on over there. Perhaps this was the historic Orion mine. Please let us know in the comments if you know anything about it. After a full day being out, it's good to get back to the campsite and cook up a good meal. For dinner that night, I had promised Dang something special. I was going to make a Mexican-influenced seafood dish with shrimp and scallops. This is just a basic dish, but using a good amount of garlic and jalapeno chilies to up the spicy index. I brine the seafood for a few minutes prior to cooking. I find it helps it stay moist and tasty. We get the shrimp and scallops frozen at Costco. Fresh is of course better option, but just not practical on trips like this. I make a shrimp fumet with the shells and make a dredge for the seafood featuring Frank's Red Hot. RV stoves are not the most powerful, but they work for a small dish like this. I've taken to stocking ghee in the trailer. This is a great substitute for clarified butter, and like that, it doesn't need to be refrigerated. I cook the seafood first and pull it out just a little bit undercooked. It will finish when I consolidate everything back into the pan. I do the shrimp before the scallops as I feel they are a bit more robust. We won't have any vampire problems tonight. You do have to learn how to cook in a small area. It takes some getting used to. The scallops are next, and they cook up pretty quickly. The scallop fond will deglaze wonderfully later on and help the sauce out a lot. This is where the shrimp fumet comes into play. And we are done. Served with a simple salad, rice, and some white wine, this is the perfect ending to our day. The The next morning, we were in for a bit of a surprise. It had rained overnight. With an annual rainfall of just 1.5 inches per year, it's rare to see rain here, and we felt privileged. It was not enough to be a problem. Here we will stop at the pay station on the eastern entrance. There is no gate here as there are in other national parks, so you stop here and self-pay before continuing into the park. Being annual pass holders, we don't have to pay. If you plan to visit more than a few national parks during the year, it's well worth getting an annual pass. As we passed by the inn at Death Valley, we spotted what we thought was a dog running loose. We circled back to see what it was. Dogs are generally not allowed in national parks, at least not on most trails, and certainly not loose. But this was no dog, it was a coyote. And it was not particularly concerned about us. It looks reasonably healthy, hopefully not from eating human scraps. The way it looked at us made me wonder, though. Another great place to visit off Badwater Road is Artist's Drive. The hills are a palette of vivid colors, ranging from reds and oranges to yellows and greens. This was made even prettier when combined with the blue skies and leftover clouds from the prior night's storm. This is a one-way loop road that you will not want to bring a large vehicle on. I think our F-250 was close to the limit. Several lookout points offer panoramic views of the surrounding hills and valleys, and Artist's Palette is perhaps the most stunning of them all. This is best seen at sunset or sunrise, though it is beautiful at any time of day. The road does get narrow and twisty. The drive is about 9 miles long, and you should probably plan on spending at least 30 minutes. More if you would like to stop and walk around. Heading back to Badwater Road, we're going to check out Golden Canyon next. Golden Canyon is one of the more popular hikes in the park, and for good reason. Unfortunately, there were no trail guides left. The hike up to Red Cathedral is just 1.5 miles, and it's not strenuous. As you hike through Golden Canyon, you'll be surrounded by towering walls of rock that are a palette of golds, yellows, and oranges, giving the canyon its name. You'll also encounter narrow passages that wind through the canyon, opening up to expansive views of the surrounding mountains. This section up here looks almost like a paved path. I don't remember if it used to be a paved path or not. Maybe it's the remnants of an older path that eroded over time. Such a wide variety of geographic formations here. Here you can just start to see the Red Cathedral in the background, a towering red rock formation that rises above the canyon floor. This stunning natural monument is a must-see, and many hikers choose to make this the end point of their hike. The wind was picking up, and it was blowing straight up the canyon. We knew the walk back was going to be gritty. As it was cloudy out, we left our sunglasses in the car, forgetting that they can be useful in sandstorms as well. As the wind was supposed to get stronger, we decided to break camp and head for our next destination, over by Panamint Springs. Packing up was pretty quick as I had not brought a lot out. This was a great spot and we highly recommend it. Free camping on a level cement pad is always a bonus. During our 3 nights here, we only saw a handful of other campers. I will say though, there is almost zero cell service here, so if you need internet, you better have a Starlink or something like that. And I will also draw your attention to this metal pole to the left front corner of our campsite. That could have a truly devastating impact on your tires if you hit it the wrong way. Another good reason not to show up in the dark looking for a camp spot. That aside, our stay was uneventful and we got on our way. Since we were just going a short distance, I used my normal hitch rather than the weight distribution hitch that I prefer for longer highway runs. It's so much easier and quicker to hook up. Well, we hope you have enjoyed this episode. We got to do a lot of things and see a lot of awesome sights. It takes a lot of effort to make these videos, and we ask that if you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing to our channel, which will let us know we are on the right track. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in episode 3.